Welcome to Story Umbrella. Today, let's connect with the divine and understand the birth of Lord Ganesha in the timeless expanse of the cosmos, where creation and dissolution endlessly weave the fabric of existence. There resided the supreme divine couple, Lord Shiva, the great ascetic and destroyer of ignorance, and Goddess Parvati, the embodiment of nurturing love, fertility, and power. Their abode, Mount Kailash, stood serene and majestic, wrapped in eternal snow, where celestial beings bowed in reverence, and sages meditated upon divine truths. From this sacred setting begins the tale of Lord Ganesha, the beloved son of Shiva and Parvati, the remover of obstacles, the giver of wisdom, and the most worshipped deity across lands and ages. His story is not merely the account of a god's birth, it is the unfolding of cosmic truths through tender, symbolic events. Parvati, though ever blissful in her union with Shiva, longed for a child of her own. In those times, Shiva would often immerse himself in deep meditation, absorbed in the mysteries of the universe. Parvati, while loving her consort deeply, sometimes desired companionship in her solitude. In her heart grew the yearning for a child who would not only fill her life with joy, but also embody her love and strength. One day, as Parvati prepared to take a sacred bath in the waters of a private chamber, she wished for someone to guard her privacy. None of Shiva's attendants could truly be hers alone. They were devoted to Shiva. So Parvati decided to fashion a guardian of her own, one created entirely out of her essence. With divine determination, she gathered the turmeric paste she had applied on her skin before her bath. From this sacred paste, glowing with her energy, she molded the form of a beautiful boy. With each stroke of her hands, life seemed to breathe into the clay-like figure. She shaped his limbs, his chest, his smiling face, and his radiant eyes. Then, with her divine power, she infused the figure with prana, the breath of life. The form stirred. The boy opened his eyes, sparkling with intelligence and innocence. He was radiant like the morning sun, yet soft and gentle like the moonlight. Parvati looked upon him with a mother's boundless love and declared him her son. She named him Ganesha, the Lord of all beings. Filled with delight, she embraced him. From that moment on, the boy was her constant companion, her child, her joy. Though newly born, Ganesha radiated divine strength and carried an aura that made celestial beings marvel at his presence. Soon after his birth, an incident occurred that would change the course of destiny. On one particular day, Parvati desired to take a bath once again in the privacy of her palace. She asked her son Ganesha, who by now had grown into a strong, bright, and dutiful boy, to stand guard at the entrance. She gave him one command: do not let anyone enter, no matter who it may be, until I am done. Obedient and determined, Ganesha stood firmly at the gate, his staff in hand, his eyes alert. It was at this moment that Shiva, returning from his meditation in the Himalayas, sought to enter his wife's chamber. To his surprise, a young boy he had never seen before blocked his way. Shiva, accustomed to being revered by all beings in creation, was met with firm resistance. "Step aside, child," Shiva said, his voice calm yet commanding. But Ganesha, unaware of Shiva's identity and bound by his mother's order, replied with unwavering firmness, "No one enters without my mother's permission." Shiva's attendants, astonished at the boy's audacity, tried to intervene. They spoke of Shiva's supreme power, his authority as the Lord of the universe. But Ganesha's devotion to his mother's command was unshakable. He stood unmoved, fearless before them all. This defiance enraged Shiva's attendants, who attacked Ganesha in attempts to remove him. But Ganesha, though young, was no ordinary child. With the strength of his mother's Shakti flowing through him, he defeated them all with astonishing ease. One after another, the mighty Ganas fell before his staff and determination. Shiva, now aware of the child's power, grew stern. He himself advanced to confront Ganesha. What followed was a battle that shook the heavens. The boy fought valiantly, striking with divine energy, deflecting Shiva's blows, and standing fearless before the great god. Even the gods of the heavens looked down in awe at this mysterious child who dared to challenge Shiva himself. At last, in a moment of immense fury, Shiva unleashed his trident, the Trishul, upon the boy. With a flash of divine lightning, the weapon struck Ganesha, severing his head from his body. The boy's lifeless form fell to the ground, and silence swept across the realm. When Parvati emerged and saw her son lying headless, her grief knew no bounds. Her cries of sorrow echoed through the three worlds. With anger beyond measure, she revealed her true form as Adi Shakti, the primordial goddess, fierce and unstoppable. Her rage shook the mountains, and her energy threatened to destroy all creation. The gods, frightened at the prospect of universal destruction, pleaded with Shiva to pacify Parvati. They urged him to restore the child to life. Realizing the gravity of his act, Shiva's heart softened. He assured Parvati that the boy would live again. Shiva commanded his attendants, "Go forth and bring back the head of the first living being you encounter, facing north." The attendants rushed into the forests and soon found a mighty elephant resting peacefully. They took its head and brought it back to Shiva. With divine grace, Shiva placed the elephant's head upon the boy's lifeless body and revived him with mantras of life. The child stirred once again. His new form was unique and divine, a child's body with the head of a wise elephant, large ears symbolizing deep listening, and a trunk filled with strength and adaptability. Thus was born the form in which Ganesha is worshipped for eternity. The gods rejoiced, and Parvati's grief turned into boundless joy as she embraced her revived son. But more was yet to come. To console Parvati and to honor the greatness of Ganesha, all the gods assembled and showered blessings upon the child. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and the celestial beings each declared him the foremost among the gods. He would be worshipped before all others, remembered as the remover of obstacles and the giver of wisdom. His large head symbolized intelligence, his small eyes focus, his ears the ability to listen deeply, his trunk adaptability, and his single tusk perseverance. From that day forward, Lord Ganesha became the most beloved of deities, the first to be invoked in every prayer, every ceremony, every sacred undertaking. And thus, the boy who was born from Parvati's love, who gave his life in obedience to her command, and who was granted a new divine form by Shiva, became immortal in the hearts of all beings as the compassionate Lord Ganesha. And so, the story of Ganesha's birth reached its divine resolution. From the dust of Parvati's devotion to the battle with the mighty gods, from the grief of destruction to the miracle of restoration, the child had now risen, reborn with the head of an elephant, his form glowing with unmatched radiance. The heavens themselves rejoiced as Ganesha opened his eyes, his presence bringing peace to all who beheld him. The devas bowed, sages chanted, and his parents' hearts overflowed with love and pride. In that moment, the universe had gained not just another divine being, but a protector, a guide, and a remover of obstacles for all time to come. Blessed by gods and embraced by his parents, Ganesha was no longer just a child. He had become a symbol, a cosmic truth. His birth was not the end, but the beginning of countless stories, lessons, and blessings that would echo through eternity. Thus began the divine story of Lord Ganesha, born from love, devotion, and cosmic grace. Thank you for watching this sacred tale. Stay with us for more timeless stories from the life of Lord Ganesha. See you again in the next one.